Welcome back, boys, to another Reddit reaction, the series where I go on Reddit so that you guys luckily do not have to. And as always, we are going to be reacting to r/Battlefield2042. We're going to be reacting to the top post of the month. I'm keen to see hopefully a bit of stuff about the Halloween event coming up, which as this video goes live should be in only a few days from now. So let's get stuck into it. The first one is to do with the play count, which is actually pretty mad. If you guys haven't seen, this says 54,000. There has been 100,000 roughly concurrent players during peak times. I'm sure there'll be other posts down here somewhere about it. Yeah, here we go. 100,000 people playing. This is just on Steam in the peak times, and it's been consistent. So that is also the peak for the game's launch. That's, you know, even during the actual launch of the game, this is more than we're playing back then. So it's been pretty mad, and hopefully it continues that way. Hopefully DICE see that, and especially EA more than DICE. To be honest, DICE know what Battlefield can do, but I think EA, the way that they rushed it out and everything, hopefully they realize that when the game's finally polished, Battlefield always does well, but obviously it didn't launch well, and this was not happening during launch. So let's hope EA take notice of that. I'm sure they will. You know, hopefully it means more seasons and stuff, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. Most insane thing I've ever done, 500-meter Rodeo Snipe. Is the one where you sit on the back? Yeah, it is. Wow. Surely not. That is mad. That is actually mad. Jesus, like, wow. There's a lot of luck involved in it, of course, but that is still mental. You've got to be, I don't care how much luck is involved in that. You've got to be good enough to be able to still pull that off. That is actually wild. Never forget what we suffered through. Oh my god, Angel. When the hell is that's got to be some sort of filter or something, surely. He did not look like that, surely. It is pretty mad to see it, just like I was saying with the play count. It's pretty mental to see how far the game's come. Like the cringy like voice lines and all that when the game came out, compared to now, where it's not like some dark, super gritty game. Although, to be fair, Redacted is pretty dark and gritty. But just how far it has come since that, where it was genuinely cringe. Like, it was actually embarrassing, all the voice lines and stuff. We have map concept art here. This is pretty cool. This is obviously fan concept art. The map is called Fallout, and obviously it's in Paris as the Eiffel Tower. That would be a fucking dope map. This is the type of map I want. I really like Redacted, but I want a city, I want an urban map. I've been crying out for it since freaking launch. All the maps in this game is so like open. They're all, you know, in more natural places. Like they're all out in the open, out in fields, hillsides and stuff like that, which, don't get me wrong, is still good, but there's no like proper city map in this game, and I feel like that is something that Battlefield needs. Very cool concept art. I'm a big fan of that. Who remembers this awful day today? I had 2 copies of Battlefield 2042 in my car, and someone broke in and left 2 more. Oh my god, that must have been from around the time of launch. That's good. Oh goodness. What 5 seconds of locker does to a motherfucker. That's another example of how, like, he looks like freaking Woody. He's just so, like, I just don't like the way that he looks here. He just looks too cartoony, whereas this skin is so sick. Obviously it's a bit like futuristic and stuff, so it's a bit more out there, but my god, what a difference. It's been 1 year, 10 months and 26 days since the game launch. We have 6 new maps. It doesn't look great when you put it like that, does it? And I've said that the whole time. As much as all these, I think every single one of these maps is good, like pretty decent. I think these would all be good enough to be in other Battlefield games, but 6 in that time frame is just, man, it is just not enough. And I've been saying that since launch, or since season 1 started anyway, that although the content we get is great, the output is not all that great. So it's something I hope if we do get season 7 and 8, I hope that we get more content. Maybe, you know, season 6 is 4 months long. Maybe they're taking a bit of extra time to get an extra map out, or just more weapons or something. I don't know, but 2 maps per season would be fantastic, and unfortunately it hasn't been, and I'm not really sure. I think if there's ever a season to get 2 maps, season 7, if we get it, probably would be the best one to get it, because it just seems like they're gearing up for that. But I also don't know if I actually see that happening, to be honest. It's another good point here. 0 portal maps and hazard zone abandoned immediately. True. Very true. That's the other issue. If it was just one of these per season, but then we were getting portal maps, it's like from previous games, even just a direct copy, like it doesn't need to look better or anything. Just put the old maps in portal. That would be better, but yeah, unfortunately that is not the case still. Someone complaining about it almost every time I play Redacted. 2042 community, we want an infantry only CQB focused map. Here's your infantry only map. 2042 players start using shotguns on it. And the 2042 community. It is true. It is very true. It's the downside. I really love close quarters maps, but I freaking hate shotguns. Mostly because I'm a bot with them. But if anyone uses a shotgun against me, it's a freaking one-shot kill from halfway across the map. It's so frustrating. But yeah, it's a double-edged sword. I'd rather close quarters maps, so I just have to kind of deal with it. But I feel this meme in my bones. So here's another one. This is from, I want to say, actually this is from after that one that I showed earlier. And this makes a good point. This is after the free weekend. So a lot of this was attributed to the fact that there was the free weekend, I think last weekend as I'm recording this anyway. And people were saying, oh, we're only getting so many players because it's free, which I agreed with. I just thought, there's nothing to be bragging about there. It's a free weekend. Of course, you're going to get more players. Turns out a lot of them are sticking around because this is still after. This is like a week after, and it's the 24-hour peak is still higher. And in fact, it is the all-time peak. So it's doing really well. It's actually mad to see. I did not think that, I knew there'd be some sort of comeback with this game. DICE always do that. They launch terribly, and then they always fix it up by the end. So I knew it would turn around, but I didn't think it would be like this level of, like, people are really enjoying it at the moment. So it's good to see. It's also very frustrating because it's like, why don't you just launch the game properly? And then this would be at launch, and then we would have had 2 years of this and heaps more content and stuff. But I guess beggars can't be choosers, unfortunately. We just got to hope that they launch the next game properly. Discussions on Redacted are like, interesting opinion. Unfortunately for you, MCS 880. That's good. Very good. We've got one here. Battlefield 4 memories. I guess it's talking about Locker, isn't it? Yeah. It does feel very similar in a lot of ways. I don't think it's as good as Locker, but it is good. I do like it. I don't know why that is so fucking loud in my ear. How long does this go for? I could have sworn I've seen this meme and it's like 5 seconds, not fucking 45 seconds. I stole this streamer a Renderzoo clip on an AC pilot right in front of his nose. Oh, I've seen this. This is Squid. My man Squid. If you guys don't know Squid, he's a great Battlefield creator. I've seen this. He goes for a Renderzoo, he nearly gets it, and some other dude, obviously the guy posting the clip, steals it off him. I think it shows, yeah, it shows his perspective. Yeah, this is his perspective. I saw this on Twitter. It was fucking so good. Man, Battlefield is so fucking sick. Just being able to do this shit. Doink! He stole it. Squid will be alright. He gets enough mental clips in this game. It's actually wild. Oh, this is great. Shotgun abusers are fucking small dick losers. Dude is mad as. That is great. Look, it's probably rude, but I love seeing people get so mad at the game that they have to like start abusing people, even though it's not really funny that they're abusing people. But when it's just aimed at no one in particular and it's just saying shotgun abusers, that's so good, man. He's one grumpy fella. Tanks after season 6. What the fuck? If you guys didn't see, they've they have tuned the movement of the tank, so that's what that's getting at. Looks like freaking Spider-Man in combat with a tank. What the hell? We're gonna end on an interesting topic here. You all remember when you used to get DLCs with 4 to 6 maps? Nowadays we get 1 map and a battle pass that's more expensive than a DLC. Battlefield 1 had 29 maps 1.5 years after launch, and they were mostly bangers. I'd agree with that. It is pretty mental, and that is a good point that I never actually thought of. That as much as I don't think paying for DLC, I was fine. I always bought DLC for games that I played. Like, I had no problem with it, but I get that it does split the play base up, so I kind of wish it would come back, but I do see the downside to it as well. Not everyone's going to buy the DLC, and so then you're splitting the play base into people who have it and don't. If I want to play with friends and maybe they don't have the DLC, well, then they can't play the maps that I'm on, or for example, to play together, I just can't play the new maps. It kind of sucks in that way for sure, but it is pretty mad that, yeah, battle passes are kind of more expensive than the DLC. To be fair, also, you buy one battle pass and you can pretty much earn enough, well, you can earn enough coins to get the next one. So it's not really over the course of like a whole game more expensive, but individually it is. And it is a good point that we're currently just getting one map where we used to get 4 to 6 for like the same price if you do buy a battle pass. They have pros and cons. I'm actually all for battle passes, but it needs to, the rest of the content, the free content needs to be enough as well. And they haven't done it in this game. I think if they had the current battle pass system and we were getting, I don't think it needs to be 4 maps. 4 maps is a lot, even though yes, they used to do it in the past, but the maps, 1, were a little bit smaller. 2, games are a bit easier to make back then because the overall quality of the games wasn't as high in terms of like, they have to look freaking real these days. Like, it's just a bit harder to make content. It's not just Battlefield doing that. Call of Duty does less maps than they used to. That's just how it is these days. Hopefully, like, we've kind of peaked with the quality of games. Not fully peaked, but we're pretty close to it. Hopefully now the next thing that we can try to peak in is the quality to amount ratio, if that makes sense. So hopefully we can improve the amount that they can do in that amount of time, but I just don't know if they will. But anyway, it's one of them weird situations where, yeah, I almost want to go back to like premium, but I also really do see the downsides to that. And I see the downsides to this as well. If there could be some sort of middle ground, it would work really well, but I don't know what that middle ground is. Someone needs to figure that out. And obviously that's for minds that are much smarter than mine, because I'm obviously not in that industry, but they need to figure out some way to do better than this. 1 map and a battle pass, it's not good enough, but also going back to premium, which might fix it, it's also not good enough. And to be honest, it might not even fix it anyway. Just because we would pay for the DLC, that doesn't mean that they would be able to put out that much content anyway. So yeah, it's an interesting topic. I'm keen to, the reason I ended on that is I'm keen to hear your thoughts on the whole premium versus battle pass and like free live service type of game. So let me know your thoughts down below. I'm keen to see what you guys think would end up better. But with that being said, guys, thank you all very much for watching. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. But with that being said, thank you all very much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you all out there on the battlefield.